Hey, 7th grade. I hope you've been enjoying working on your American Entrepreneur project. So far, you have done slides 1, the title slide, 2, early life, 3, the later life, 4, more information about your company, and 5, your timeline. Now, you only have 2 slides left, and this shouldn't take you long at all, so you are almost done if you have kept up with the slide schedule. The next slide, slide 6, is about the stock market. So, my company that I've been doing, for an example, Chick-fil-A, I know from the past, Chick-fil-A does not sell stock publicly. So, you are going to do some research and see if you can find out if your company does. Most of the big companies do, but Chick-fil-A doesn't. So if they don't, you just need to type that. But you need to make sure you do the research so you know for sure. I'm going to do an internet search, just confirm that Chick-fil-A does indeed not sell its stock publicly. And what I mean by that is just any old person couldn't go buy stock in Chick-fil-A. And here you can see Chick-fil-A is not a publicly traded company. It's 100% owned by the Cathy family. So you and I could not go buy stock in the Chick-fil-A company. And I could read, there's several articles confirming that information. Scroll down, and once I confirm that, I can add a little bit more to this slide. Chick-fil-A is 100% owned by the Cathy family. Again, that means that Mrs. Mark, Heather Mark, cannot go buy stock in the Chick-fil-A company. And then for my slide, I just want to get some sort of picture to put on this slide. It could be anything having to do with Chick-fil-A, so I'm just going to grab one of these pictures and drag it in. Make sure I get the larger resolution version so it looks good. And maybe adjust it a little if it needs it. And that is all I need to do for my slide because my company does not sell stock publicly. Okay, so I'm going to give you another example of a company. So I'm going to get another one of the same slide. And in this example, I'll do Walt Disney Company. So I know for sure that Walt Disney Company does sell stock. So in your research, you're going to figure that out. So I'm going to go ahead and type Walt Disney Company stock. Now, if your company does sell stock publicly, like Walt Disney Company, you are going to get this live market summary. And you can see this May 4th, 3/22, that's right now live for me. So you can see, if you just see the price of the stock just changed. So it is live. It is always going to be changing. But what you're going to need to do is take a screenshot. So it is Command-Shift-4 on a Mac. And then it's going to take your image, your screenshot, and put it on your desktop, and you're just going to drag it into the picture box like this. Now, you don't even need text at this point if your company sells stock. All you need is this live market summary. Make sure it's not getting cut off. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my box here so it's not getting cut off. I want to be able to see the whole thing, including the date and the time that you took your screenshot. Now, if you have a PC at home, there you have a snipping tool, and that is how you will take your screenshot. So look for your snipping tool. You go to New and then Snipping Tool, and then you'll just drag your cursor over it, just like I did. But on a Mac, it is Command-Shift-4. A PC, it's your snipping tool. So I'm going to give you another example. Now we're going to do Amazon stock. So if you're doing If this is the company for your entrepreneur, you'll see here it is. You can see just the difference in the stock prices comparing $103.36 per share versus $2,315.63 per share. Here I'm going to do Command Shift 4, drag it over the area that I want, and then drag it into my box. Adjust it if you need to. You want the whole thing to show so I can see exactly what your stock was. Okay, so there's another example using Amazon. Now let's try another example. Let's try Publix. So I'm going to type in Publix stock and see what I come up with. And here I can see it says 50. This looks different though. It's not like before. Okay, so Publix stock is not publicly traded. It's only for sale privately for Publix associates and board members. So that means that it is just people within the company can buy stock. You and I cannot buy stock unless we are associated with the company. So if Publix were my company, for my entrepreneur, if that was the person I picked, was the founder of Publix, I would find this information and put it in my own words, of course. And here I would put Publix stock is not publicly traded. Publix stock can only be bought by Publix associates, which is an employee, basically, and board of directors, board members, period. Okay, and let me just, Public stock is private and can only be, there we go, and maybe even you can include this $50 per share if you want to. Whatever information you can find is awesome to put. They can buy it for $50.10 per share. As of May 4th, 2020. Okay, and then I'm going to need a picture. Now, there's not going to be a that live market share photo that we found for Amazon and Disney, so I can just get any old picture like I did for Chick-fil-A, for Publix, and just drag it on over. So now I have given you two examples of companies that do not sell their stock publicly, Publix and Chick-fil-A, and two that do, Amazon and Walt Disney Company. You should follow these guidelines for this slide, depending on your research and whether they sell their stock publicly. Now let's go on to the last slide, which is super easy. It is just a quote by your entrepreneur. So there is a quote slide in the Keynote program that's pretty easy to use. So I'm just going to go to the internet and search for a quote by Truett Cathy. And there's a number of ways to find quotes. I know you guys are pretty good at this, most likely. So I'm just going to go to a site that I know is reputable, because you can get some false quotes. Make sure you find a reputable site and you're not just getting some false quote. So I'm going to read through all of these, see which one I want to use. Truett Cathy was a pretty cool guy, so there's a lot of good quotes here. I'll use this one. Now in this case, since it's a quote, you can copy and paste. There's nothing wrong with that because it's his quote. So I'm going to paste it in here. Now I lost my formatting here, so I'm going to go ahead and fix it. I'm going to highlight it and change my font to something nice and big. Since this is the only thing I'm having on this page, I want a nice, big, juicy font. So I'll pick this one, make it bigger, get rid of the URL, I don't need that of course, put it on my page, bump it up more. Again, this is the only thing on your page, so make it nice and big. You don't want some tiny little words. I'll make I go to the next line so it kind of works better. Put my quotation marks, don't forget those. I'm going to change it to white because it makes it pop bigger, and I'm going to center it. Okay, so now you are done with your slideshow at this point. Now is the time when you go through each slide, proofread. Here I can see I spelled Kathy wrong, so I need to fix that. Make sure you go through the rubric and you have everything that you need. When you're sure you're done, go ahead and save. And you will go to your LMS, and there is a red tab button that you will click on to submit this. Now you're going to need to do this for both me and Mrs. Lawrence. We will both have a little red tab button to submit your assignment. We are both using Mac computers, so that means we can open a Keynote or a PowerPoint document, so there's no need to adjust your file type at all. All right, remember to proofread and look over your rubric, and I cannot wait to see what you guys have put together. Have a great day.